super simple ways to stay focused on your goal. So, oh, yes, this goal setting workbook. This is a goal setting workbook. I have it. You can have it too. It is linked down in the description, and this will help you to create a plan to set and achieve all of those goals. There is a monthly goal planner, worksheets that break down all of your aspirations, weekly goal setting trackers, progress review and review exercises, habit tracking survey, task list templates, and more. So you can grab this. It's free. It's in the description. It will really help you to really stay focused on your goals, set intentional goals, and work towards those. So you can grab them in the description, and they do go with these goal setting Friday live streams. So go ahead, check it out, and we will set some goals after this. I wanted to get into this part of the visit of the live stream first, so that we can actually, have like a little chat, have like a little bit of a what's going on, have like a little bit of a review on how to really stay focused on your goals. And then later on, we will also we will set the goals, and then we will have a little bit of what's the word I'm looking for? A foundation, so that we can set goals that we're going to stay intentional. So hold on, I took no time off at all. I am so still super organized. Okay, so hold on. Sorry. I just want us to sorry, I'm trying to get organized on this end because I cannot see the chat very well. So we're going to get this up and running so that I can see the chat. Okay, we're ready. So first of all, in order to really stay focused on your goals, in order to really be able to set and achieve goals, you have to have a clear goal in mind. And that can be anything from I want to, meal plan. I want to get a great mark in my classes this year. I want to really focus on my organization habits. You have to have something that you want to improve. You have to have something that you're working towards if you want to be able to set and achieve these goals. So you have to have a clear goal in mind. You know what you want, and you think you know how to get there, but that's not enough. You have to work for it. The path might be long and the nights might be late, but you're committed. Even if you can taste it, simply wanting something is not enough to achieve it. You need a path, you need a plan, and you need a way to stay focused. But how do you do that? How do you stay focused and achieve goals, especially when they seem so far away? How do you stay focused on your goals every day, even if the goal you've set for yourself is years away? This is a common struggle for students. Graduation, careers, and financial freedom, they seem so far off. Those are years, months, decades down the road, especially if you have something that you want to achieve, like being a doctor or a lawyer. There's a lot of time that you have to be on that grind. You have to hustle. Right now, you are battling against due dates, stress, anxiety, and the impeding sense of doom. If you linger in this despair, these struggles will consume you. It's so easy to lose sight of what's to come. So, how do you stay confident, steady, and strong under all of this weight? By setting goals and creating a stepwise plan to achieve it, while rewarding yourself along the way. These rewards are so important, and I'll get into a little bit more about why later. But let's just continue on here. By having a plan and sticking to it, you can track your progress as you get closer and closer to achieving those dreams. First, you need to start by setting big goals and break them down into simple steps. This is going to bring realizing your ambitions closer than you have ever imagined. This path is going to be long. And there's going to be some setbacks. Despite all of these fallbacks and distractions, staying focused on your goals is going to be crucial. This is precisely why these 10 ways to stay focused on your goals is so important. If you struggle with setting and achieving your goals, make sure you do pick up this free goal setting workbook. It will guide you through setting your goals and then breaking them down weekly. Here, you can reflect on your progress and how these targets will help you to make headway towards a bigger picture. Review the progress you made in the last month and assess how important, review the progress made in the last month and assess how you can improve your habits moving forward. I also host a weekly and monthly live goal setting sessions, so you don't have to work through this alone. The biggest thing about setting goals and achieving them is really accountability. If you do not share your goals, if you do not get out there and you don't tell people about your goals and share your fears, your excitement, your insecurities, while it might seem like it feels safer, the problem is that you're not putting it out there into the world. You're not having anybody check in on your progress and try and help you along the way. So it actually hinders your progress. So having a community of people where you can go, where you can hang out, where you can talk about your goals, where you can talk about your progress, where you can talk about your fears and insecurities and get some feedback and be held accountable to making progress is so important. And that's exactly what these live streams are for. So make sure that you come and check it out on my website. You will see, hold on, let's pull up the website so you can see exactly where all of the events go. Right now, I just have this week's events up. So if you just go to the website, absolutelystudying.com, and go to the events tab, you can see, and all of the events that are planned are here. I do have some special events coming up that may or may not be held on YouTube. I'm thinking of doing some kind of fun laid back streams, maybe a Sims stream. If you've been following me for a while, you know I love some Sims. And I've been thinking about trying to incorporate some Sims challenges so we can have just a laid back fun stream. I also every once in a while do study streams or co-working streams over there. So you'll also find those there. So you'll find all of my upcoming events in this one tab on the website, along with links to them. So in these live streams, we share stories, laughs, and support as we achieve our dreams together. It's free and you can pick up your copy here. So make sure you grab that free goal setting workbook. Okay, let's continue on. Coffee break. So why is staying focused on your goals important? Having a long-term goal is like having a map. It helps you to get to a specific destination without getting lost. Your goal is meant to guide you in a particular direction. It helps you to clear your purpose and make choices it helps you to get clear on your purpose and make choices to get to where you want to be. When you set goals so far in the future, like career or life goals, it's easy to lose focus in the now. And that just means it's easy when you want to be, say you want to be a lawyer or a Nobel Prize winning scientist. It's really, really easy to forget in today, how am I working towards that goal? Obviously, I'm not going to be arguing in front of the Supreme Court, or obviously I'm not going to be doing award-winning research every single day, but how can I make little steps of progress today in order to get to that goal next week, next month, next year, especially when you just want to, hang out in bed. It's not easy to take steps today that may not pay off for years or decades. So how do people do it? How do people stay so focused on their goals and make so much headway when sometimes it feels like all you want to do is stay in bed, or that you're just not making that kind of progress? In a study published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology by Duckworth et al., it was discovered that one of the most important indicators of success in realizing long-term goals was the focused application of talent over time. But what exactly does that mean, and how is this done? So in plain words, you have to take focused, deliberate steps towards achieving your goals. Hard work alone is not enough, and neither is talent, but making focused, intentional decisions day in and day out to work towards your goal and make progress in what matters to your success. So what that means is you have to know what steps, what tasks, what little tweaks are actually making progress towards your goal. So that doesn't necessarily mean arguing in a court of law every day if you want to be a lawyer, or doing research every day if you want to be a scientist. That could mean reading the chapter in your textbook for the class you're taking right now. Or it could mean organizing your binder to make sure that all of your study materials are organized and there and completed. Little steps like that are focused and deliberate on making progress overall, not just the big, huge gestures, are what's important in making your goals a reality. So how do you stay focused on your goals for years and years, or even decades? Well, that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. Making targets, setting them, and having a plan will help immensely. So let's get in and dive into 10 super simple ways to stay focused on your goals so you can reach them. Yes, I talk with my hands. It's a thing. Okay, one more coffee break. Okay. So, how to stay focused and achieve your goals. One of the best ways to achieve your goals is to simply break them down into actionable pieces. By doing this, you have tasks that you can tackle in a much more reasonable time frame. You can assign these similar targets for weeks or months, then break them up into bite-sized pieces to work on throughout the days. By breaking down your goals, you're limiting overwhelm because you can quickly see how possible accomplishing a simple task is. You're no longer telling yourself to get an A+ on a big assignment. Instead, you're simply completing the outline or research before moving on to the next task. So that is where that having simple, intentional tasks jumps in. That's where it's applicable. Because now we're not saying, I have to finish this class or else I'll never become a lawyer. Instead, you're saying, I have to do this research for this essay in order to pass this class. So while writing an essay might be really daunting, doing the research or picking out the topic or writing out a handful of facts or outlining the essay, each of those unto themselves are achievable tasks that will probably take you no more than 30 minutes to an hour. You can do those specific tasks. And by breaking it down into simple tasks, you see how achieving this massive goal is so much easier. So having a task list also is all, words are hard. Having a task list is also helpful because it increases your motivation by giving you a choice. You can choose the items to tackle. You can choose the items you want to tackle in the order you'd like to complete them. So instead of wrestling with motivation because you don't want to do anything, you can simply select the task you want to avoid the least, or choose the job that takes the smallest amount of time and you work your way up the list. So now, again, same thing. You have this essay that you have to write, and now you've written out a task of 25 different items, different ways, different tasks, different duties or jobs that you have to complete in order to write this essay as a whole. So once you write down all of these tasks, it really kind of breaks up and deconstructs the writing process. You're not sitting there trying to write an essay. You're looking at a list of tasks and you are choosing which one you want to do. So in that way, if you're not motivated to sit down and write, you don't have to sit down and write for hours and hours. You can look at your list and you can say, I don't feel like writing right now. I cannot write a paragraph, but I can go through and I can brainstorm some arguments. I can go through and I can pick a topic, and in that way, you can choose what you want to do. Maybe you don't want to write, but you've already picked your topic and you've already brainstormed your points. Well, then you can do some research. If you've already done the research, you can go through the research and you can start weeding out and ranking which argument, which facts in the research best support what you're trying to prove or what your opinion is. And so in that way, you don't have to worry about writing. Once you've chosen all of your arguments, you can kind of list them out into the order that you want to present them in the paragraph. You still don't feel like writing. You're still not motivated enough, even though you're seeing a massive amount of progress. Well, then why don't we just paraphrase the facts so that we're not writing down what it is that you researched verbatim? So now that you've done that, now you have the facts in a row that you want to present. You've paraphrased them so they're in your own words. Now, all you have to do is start writing connecting paragraphs and opinions and your analysis on these things. And before you know it, you didn't actually have to sit down and write for hours, but you have. You basically outlined and made a rough draft of your essay without even forcing yourself to write for hours. You just sorted and paraphrased and organized information until it flowed in a logical manner. And now you have a draft of your essay, and you didn't have to force yourself to do something you didn't want to do. Go through and pick out, even if you're not crazy about doing any of the items, just go through and figure out which one do you hate the idea of doing the least and work that way. Getting this task list is not the topic of this article. Today, you want to know how to stay focused on those goals every day to make this long-term progress. How can you make working towards your dreams fun and fulfilling every single day? And this article breaks down several ways to stay focused on these long-term goals. We will discuss some of the strategies to increase motivation and help ease the burden of this massive, overwhelming workload. So let's get started. So first and foremost, one way to really stay focused on your goals and help you to stay motivated is to create an evening routine that has you set up from the night before. So now you're going to be like, how is this going to help me become a lawyer? How is this going to get me to that Nobel Peace Prize? Well, let me get there. Timing is everything when you have a goal. You can use time to your advantage to make each day a little bit easier. We all have times throughout the day when we are the most productive. Taking note of these times and creating routines to help optimize our efficiency can set us up for the days ahead. Alternatively, if you have periods where you're just in a slump, make a routine to work through them. This can help you be more productive by taking that opportunity to take care of yourself. Self-care is one of the most essential components of avoiding stress and reducing anxiety. It also helps with productivity by giving your mind and body a rest when they need to be able to perform. So, what that means is that during the times when you know you're productive, if you are a morning person and you wake up and you just hit the ground running, then use that time to get all of those big things ready and get yourself set up for the next day, get yourself into a routine so that you can make the most of those productive times. I am a morning person, so I wake up and I get things done. If I don't start working and progressing right first thing in the morning, then I fall into a slump. So if you do have the afternoon slump with me, that's me. I would rather get everything done in the morning so I can lounge around for the rest of the day. If you are that person, then create a routine or choose to use that time less productively. So if you have after lunch, for example, for me, I eat lunch and then I just want to lay around. I want to, check out. I want to go play video games. I want to just lounge around. So I have to set a routine. So after lunch, I come to my desk. I put some lemongrass into my, it's like a lemongrass essential oil onto my diffuser. So that kind of helps me to feel energized to work. Sitting at my desk helps me to feel focused to work. And so that helps. But if I try and work on the couch or somewhere else, I will completely try and procrastinate and not perform. So I know I have a routine. So my after lunch routine is to grab some coffee, set the diffuser, sit at my desk, and get started. I have a task list, and I know that if I just get through this task list, then I can go and be less productive. So that's the routine that I have at the end of to get me out of those unproductive slumps. Now, alternatively, if you are going to allow yourself to embrace that, maybe you are somebody that needs to have an afternoon nap. I would love to have an afternoon nap. And maybe that's what you do. Immediately after lunch, you are in that procrastination slump. Have a nice little self-care power nap, or, go and take that time to indulge in some self-care. But make sure whichever one it is, that it's intentional. It's okay to not be productive all of the time. Just make sure that you're not doing it to avoid work and that you're doing it intentionally. So, when are you most productive? When you first open your eyes or before going to bed? Creating morning and evening routines are a great start. These can help you plan ahead, set up for your day, or wind down after a long, stressful study session. How many times does your alarm clock go off in the morning? And how long do you continue to lay in bed with your eyes closed? I've been guilty about this many times. It's usually me laying in bed until I decide what I want to wear for the day, but I fall back asleep every single time. I love a good warm bed, especially on a cold Canadian morning. I am very much a morning person in the summertime. In the wintertime, it can be a little bit more of a struggle, especially if I have to wake up early. Some days I am just so snug and cozy. You just want to nuzzle into that right spot and it's impossible to leave, but you have to. There are things to do and goals to accomplish. So how can we make this easier? How can we make it easier to get out of bed on a cold Canadian morning? Evening routines can be calming and ensure that you don't wake up to chaos. They can help you get everything you need for the morning. Ready to, words are hard. They can help you to get everything you need for the morning ready to wake up in a good mood and with little stress. Morning routines are a fantastic way to start off your day right. They can help you start out motivated and in an intentional manner. How your day starts can make or break it. It's so easy to start. I need zip. It's so easy to start a morning off on the wrong foot and have those dark clouds persist throughout the day. Sometimes when this happens, it's impossible to shake. The entire day becomes a write-off. Do you ever have those days when it seems like the harder you try to progress, the slower you are moving? I hate those days. Do all of these little tasks to prepare yourself for the morning. Do all these little tasks to prepare yourself for the morning before you go to bed. There is an entire unit about how to create a successful morning and evening routine in the first module of my digital course. It comes with a workbook to help you design your own. You can check it out here. So this is my digital course. I do have a digital course. It is hold on, let me see if we can open this in a new tab. It is essentially about study skills. It gives you everything you need to excel, learn how to get and stay organized and productive, find a note-taking method that suits your learning style, design a reading strategy to improve your understanding, and plan truly effective study sessions so you can set up for success. I'm not going down this tangent, but that if you do have trouble, that is one of the modules, I believe, in the organization portion. The first module is free, so you can always check it out. I can't remember right off bat, but it might be in the first module. So yeah, check it out. You're more than welcome to. You have to go to the website to sign up, though. It's hosted on the website. So by completing little preparation tasks before bed each night, you will set yourself up for the best possible morning. Pick out your clothes for the following day, set up your coffee to brew on a timer. Let me tell you, buying a coffee pot with a timer to automatically turn on and brew was life-changing. I had a 9 a.m. class in university. And let me tell you, I live in like the northernmost part of the city, and my university was in the southernmost part of the university. And I took the bus. So it was like an hour and a half on the bus to get there. And that was the express bus. Like I was not taking the slow moving, touristy view of the city bus. I was taking the express bus straight down Main Street and then straight through that, like only stopped at a handful of stops. And it still took me like an hour and a half. It was a long commute. So setting my coffee pot to start brewing at 7 a.m. so that I could like quickly get ready was so amazing, because I would wake up to my alarm and I'd be like, I don't want to get up. But then I would smell my coffee brewing. I love coffee. If you haven't noticed, it's like I'm in the coffee cult. But the smell of the coffee and knowing that there was a hot cup of coffee waiting for me was so helpful to actually getting me motivated to get up and get out of bed. So yeah, pack your bags and set them near the door. Another great one. Leave a note of any last minute tasks you need to add to your schedule. I would do that right if I didn't have time, or if I didn't have the inspiration or motivation to open up my planner and do it. I would totally just write a bunch of sticky notes and put them on the inside of my planner. And then I would do it later on, either on the bus or when I got to the university, when I got to campus. And then during one of my empty blocks, I would sit there and put in all of those to-do tasks and go through all of the Post-its. But if you put them inside your planner, close your planner, they're in there, they're safekeeping. And if you know to check and just keep the rhythm and keep the habit of checking, then it's not something that you're going to look over. Finally, take out what you plan to eat for dinner and pack your lunch. You're going to sleep much more soundly, and future you will definitely offer their thanks. So, side Side story for the live streamers only, because we're going to cut this out of the podcast. I am one of those people who always writes a funny note to future me. And it's just hilarious because even in my lecture notes, like when I'm taking lecture notes, I will often like remember something. And in order to get it out of my head so that it's not distracting me, I write it down. So whether it is you forgot to put something in the dryer, or you are nervous about this, or you have to pick up milk on the way home, anything, or you think you understand this concept but you don't, I would always write a little note: dear future Terrell, you think you understand this concept but you don't. Make sure to research, what a insert topic here further when you get home. You're welcome. And I think it's hilarious to me to think of how many people asked to borrow my notes, or if they came in late for class and they took a picture of my notes. Because I would make contacts in class, and I would have like a couple of friends in class. And then if you're late or if you miss a class, you could just share notes. It's great. But I shudder to think how many people have gone through my notes to pull their own notes and saw, dear future Terrell, you think you understand this, but you don't. You're welcome. And I think it's probably hilarious because they're probably at home just laughing at me. But hey, at least I remembered when I got home and went through that. At least it reminded me that I don't actually understand that concept as well as I thought I do, even though I left the class feeling great about my progress and forgetting that I didn't understand that one concept. So in the morning, now we're fast forwarding. You've got your great night's sleep. All of your clothes are picked out for the day. Your bags are packed and beside the door. You've got your coffee brewed. You have your lunch and your dinner all planned out and packed. So now you've had your great sleep. It's the morning. Sit down with your coffee and plan out your day. I do this for the first 15 minutes of my day. I just grab my coffee, I grab my planner, and I go through and I check on everything that I'm supposed to be doing. And then I have that opportunity to tweak my day, move things to the next day, and add points if I need to. So make sure to include all your must-dos and obligations. If you enjoy reading or watching a few videos to start your day, give yourself time to do this as well. Make sure your morning routine allows for all the time you need to get ready the way you like. So this is your time to prepare yourself for everything you need to tackle in the day. Give yourself permission to take the time you need to not feel rushed. So me, I will not wear makeup if I don't have to. I generally like just the very casual look. So it didn't take me a super long time to get ready in the morning. But if you are a full-faced girl, or you take a long time, or you just enjoy having a 30-minute shower first thing in the morning, schedule that. Don't feel guilty for what you need to make yourself feel comfortable and confident to face the day. If you need an hour to get ready in the morning, there is no shame in that. That is your morning routine and you should embrace it. Plan to give yourself an hour. So that means you have to wake up accordingly for when you have to leave. So now this is the second big the next big helper to staying focused on your goals, on your long-term goals, is to write them down. A goal that is not written down is just a wish. As much as I want to take credit for that quote, it was not me. I heard it once a long time ago, and I don't remember where. Nonetheless, it's always stuck with me. Writing down your goals makes them real. Once this happens, you have to deal with them. Write down all of your ambitions, big and small. Write down your to-do list and everything you need to get done in a day. Finally, Keep a notebook. In your notebook, write down all of your anxious thoughts that flood into your mind, all of the amazing ideas that come to you, anything you need to remember, and everything you need to pick up at the store. Writing these things down gets them out of your head. So this is just like what I was talking about with my lecture notes. This means you're going to stop. This means that those thoughts are going to stop taking up space and wasting precious energy. These pages do not have to be pretty or even grammatically correct. This is just for you to review later. So I literally have an entire drawer of notebooks, and I will go back through them occasionally because they have all of these ideas I've thought up for business ideas, for products that I want to bring to you, for everything. And I would keep these notebooks and write and write. I have one right here. So these notebooks, I keep them and all of these random thoughts, and I will go through these books regularly. And I will cross out anything I've taken care of. I will transfer ideas that I want to keep. Or if it's a big notebook of ideas, sometimes I'll just keep the whole notebook, which is why I now have a drawer full of them. And as I am coming up with time to create new products and stuff like that for you guys, I will pull out these notebooks and I'll go through them and I will kind of see what ideas I can elaborate on. I also keep article ideas and video ideas and all of these different things in there that I am holding on for you guys. So all of that goes in there. So that way I'm not sitting there at the beginning of every single week trying to figure out what I'm going to do. I already have a whole book full of ideas that I go through regularly and I clean out or I keep and immortalize in another book if it's like ideas for articles and stuff like that. But the thing about writing it down is that you've now kept it. It's now written down. It's now real. So whether it's a goal that's real or it is an idea or it is an anxious thought, it's not, you don't have to hold on to it in your head and worry about forgetting about it. Instead, it's written down. You can stop thinking about it for now and focus on what you need to do. So go through this notebook regularly and toss out your anxious thoughts. If the symbolism of tearing out the page and throwing it in the garbage feels good, do it. I love doing that. Take your to-do and shopping lists and transfer them into your planner at the end of the day. That way you can make sure that these tasks don't get forgotten, and you can complete them when you have time. You can distribute them throughout the week and address them when it's most convenient to you, because now they're out of your head. They're not taking up space. You can set the terms where you are ready to review them and deal with them. Finally, keep these fantastic ideas safe. I have a drawer full of notebooks and I pull them out whenever I need fresh inspiration. I am often blown away by some of the ideas that I've had. Flipping through these notebooks inspires me. I will sometimes pick up one on a bad day and reflect on how far I've come. They also help me to dream up words. They also help me to dream up improvements or offering for my clients. Sometimes I can't believe the great ideas I've forgotten and dive right in to bringing them to life. Oh. So tip number three for staying on track with your long-term goals is just simply read them every morning. Go over your goals every morning. Repeat them to yourself. Yes, out loud. This helps them to be present and anchored in your reality. Never forget your goal. Let it be the driving force in everything you do. Keeping it here, keeping it in the here and now allows you to think of how you can direct your energy towards achieving it. Don't just review your long-term goals. Revisit your middle and short-ranged goals as well. 1, break up your long-term aspirations into yearly goals. Create monthly goals to stay on track to achieve them. Break these goals up weekly into manageable tasks. And then join me on Fridays to set your weekly goals into daily ones that you can work on and make progress. Weekly planning sessions can be extremely helpful in staying focused on your goals. I hold both weekly and monthly planning sessions so we can do it together, I hold both weekly and monthly planning sessions so we can do it together. Sharing your goals and having a community that supports you provides accountability. Sharing your goals and having a community that supports you and provides accountability can increase the likelihood of achieving them. So pick up your free workbook, set your goals, and then drop in on a live stream or join the replay crew. Replay crew, I do love you. I will put timestamps for all of this down in the description below. If you are still unclear on if you're still unclear on your long-term goals, you can also check out the Ultimate Student Planner. It has everything you need to plan and organize your work, your school, work, and study obligations, and there is an exercise to get clear on your long-term goals. It starts with an intense self-coaching exercise to help you get clear on your goals and set your intentions. Next, work through the mini goal-setting exercise to help you define your priorities. And finally, future planning and visualization exercises help you to pinpoint the exact life you want to live and create a plan to achieve it. I feel like in this live stream, I am being very pitchy, and that is not my intention. My intention is to really help you find those goals and stay focused on them. So these items that are here in the article, these items that I am mentioning, are all really to help you stay focused and figure out what you want, actually discover what you want out of your progress. Because if you don't have intention behind making this progress and you don't get clear on exactly what it is that you want, you won't be successful. And so it really is all about having a clear vision. These items contain tools to help you really define that vision and make sure that it is something that you want and something that you have all of the tools to break down and plan. So I felt it important as I'm going through this, that it's not that I'm trying to pitch you these things. It's that all of these other items have the support items that will support you in these particular areas. So whether it is getting intentional and figuring out what that goal is that you want, or whether it is creating that morning routine, those items, that's why I'm mentioning them, and not so much because I want to be pitchy today. All of these these images here, as well as this top one up here, I forgot to mention, they are also available on my Instagram. So if you follow me on Instagram, you can save these and see those. You can little flag them, save them for later, or you can just visit the website, I guess. So clarifying your destination in this way will make you much more likely to reach your goals. This life you're planning is now real. It exists in your not too distant future. All you have to do is follow the path towards it. Setting goals creating a plan to achieve them, and staying focused on your project. Staying focused on your progress will get you there. Joining the live streams or catching the replays will help you become part of a community that will help you along the way. These habits of intentional planning, community support, and accountability are crucial to staying on track. It's easy to wander off the path when you don't regularly review your goals and calculate your progress. Goals that are out of sight slip out of mind quickly. You need to constantly remind yourself of what you want to accomplish. It's so easy to slide back into old habits or lose track of all of the progress you've made when you don't keep in mind why you're doing it. So 4, do at least one thing to further your goals every single day. Take intentional steps to tackle tasks and work towards your goals every day. This does not have to be huge. This does not have to be a huge undertaking. If your goal is to ace your class, try to steal away 15 minutes a day to review flashcards for topics you struggle with. Do this in addition to your regular study session. Flashcards are compact and easy to carry around. Adding these small commitments to your week is a simple way to increase your understanding of a subject with minimum time and energy. Again, goals that are out of sight and slip out of your mind easily. You have to constantly remind yourself and do simple things that can work towards accomplishing them. It's easy to slide back into old habits or lose track of all the progress you've made when you don't keep in mind why. The reason why you're doing things is so important, and let that be the driving force. You can also create tasks that are a little bit more substantial. They can be as big or as little as your day allows. Goals cover as big of a range as the people setting them. Your goal for the day can be as simple as completing all of your responsibilities or sliding in something new. Whatever your day brings, try to take it as a fresh opportunity to get one step closer to achieving your dreams. So that is just to, again, those timely goals, those daily goals with intention, just keeping in mind why you're doing something and taking tiny steps every single day to bringing you closer to achieving it. And it can be something big, but it's not going to be something big every single day, and that's fine. 5, manage your time effectively. I am never going to be one of those people who say that you have to spend 100% of your time productively. That, I think, is what they are now calling toxic productivity. And it's not reasonable. Burnout is a reality, and self-care and rest are essential. Sometimes you need to be able to rest and take a breather. This will help you return refreshed and ready to tackle your commitments when the time comes. The thing is this: if you want to achieve your goals, you will have to make continual, measurable progress. Make sure you're not wasting time that you should be using productively. Complete all of your obligations or to-dos before indulging in a days-long Netflix binge. I discovered that the new season of The Crown was out last night, and trust me, it took everything in me to go to sleep so I could wake up at a reasonable time this morning and make this live stream instead of binging it. So yeah, I understand the Netflix binge, and I'm sorry, when The Witcher and Bridgerton come out, there is no amount of willpower in the world that are going to be able to keep me off of that. So I have to make sure that I plan all of my to-dos before they come out. I should check and see when the release date is on Bridgerton 3, season 3. Procrastination is the biggest time waster there is. It also comes with many faces that often look like you're making progress, but you're actually wandering in the wrong direction. Don't fall into this trap. Take time to rest and create a strategy that allows you to still hit your milestones. I do this by setting monthly goals and breaking them down into weekly goals, and then breaking those weekly goals down into tasks that I can tackle daily. During these goal setting live streams, which you are here for right now, we also reflect on our goals and how they help us in the long term. This will help us stay on track and avoid wandering off on a side quest. Reflection will help to keep us on the path and focus on these long-term goals. So in that goal setting workbook, you will see that on the monthly goals and even on the weekly goals, it has you review last week's goals and decide if they were actually helping you, make the progress that you needed to make. And this way, you're not setting the same goals every single week. So say we are talking about something like, one of your goals is reviewing flashcards. We'll just use that. If you find that flashcards don't work for you, and yet every single week you're having a task or a goal to study flashcards for 15 minutes a day, if flashcards don't work for you, then that goal is going to get stale really quick. And why are you doing it? Reflecting on your previous goals from the previous week, and then going back and deciding if it was helpful for you or if it was a waste of your time is going to help you better choose your goals going forward. Maybe it was not the flashcards themselves, but maybe it was that you were having a buddy study session and that you were doing flashcards with somebody else, and that it's just that you're not an auditory learner. So having somebody else ask you the flashcard questions was not helpful. So you're going to stick with the flashcards this week, but you're going to do them all by yourself. That is a way of reviewing last week's goal and then auditing it, and deciding to tweak it going forward. So now you're going to do that next week. And at the end of next week, you can go back and you can decide if this tweak made that goal worth it. And if so, are you going to continue on it, or are you going to tweak it again into something else? So reviewing the goals, and if they were helpful, if they were effective, is going to really help you to make more intentional goals and make more progress. So while reviewing last week's goals is important to say, yes, I did it, or no, I didn't do it, or yes, I hit the goal, or no, I didn't hit the goal, it's also helpful to check in and see if the goal in itself was helpful, or should you change it for a different goal? Should you try doing something else instead? Okay, next, tip number 6 to staying focused on your long-term goals is to plan your day. It is so much easier to complete everything you need to in a day when you have a clear plan. Write all of your must-dos in your planner as well as your hope-to-dos. Ticking off this list will motivate you to tackle even more projects. You will finish this list faster than expected when you focus on crossing things off. This is because your efforts are focused. You have a clear step-by-step intentional plan to make progress and get the desired results. All of the external noise and distraction is silenced when you have a focused plan. It's so easy to lose motivation and veer off path when your strategy is unclear. When you plan your day and assign tasks throughout the week, you can cross them off and stay focused. Planning your day will also give you a better understanding of what is actually possible to accomplish in the time you have. Doing this will ensure you don't overburden yourself and cause even more stress. You have enough on your plate. Being realistic about what you will be able to accomplish is crucial. As much as possible, Try to anticipate how long a task will take and assign time blocks to each item on your list. This is something that I am guilty about as well. I will have a laundry list of items that I need to complete in a day. And then I go through and I start working through this list, and I realize the time that these items will take is more than 24 hours. It's more than the time I have in a day. So adding a little bit of time is going to do one of two things. It's either going to stop you from continuing to add tasks to your day, or it's going to help you to stop that task at that allotted time and assign it more time the next day or later on in the week. And that way you can keep making progress and you're not just demotivating yourself by having this huge, long laundry list of items that you're never going to be able to get through in a day because it's completely unreasonable. When you have all of your duties organized, you will have a more precise understanding of the time remaining on a project. This will make it less likely that incomplete items will be forgotten when planning out the next series of days. You can also easily reassign tasks and move them around to the days that make the most sense or when you feel inspired to complete them. So sometimes I will not be able to finish a project and I schedule it for later on in the week, but then the next day I'm on a roll and I look at my weekly planner and I'm like, oh my God, I could totally just knock that off right now. And then I jump in and I do it. And then I have something less to do on Friday or Thursday or whatever day I planned it. So that also helps when you are just hot and on a roll. Number 7, take time out for self-care. And this is really going to help you to be able to stay intentional and stay focused on those long-term goals without burning out. So we often expect greatness out of ourselves, but we do not invest the time to make sure that we can achieve it. We need to treat ourselves with the same care, dignity, and excellence as the output we imagine. Remember, the grass only grows where it's watered. Taking care of ourselves both inside and out is one positive step. We need to take time out to unwind, laugh, and just enjoy our life and journey. While you're busy focusing on the future and achieving your dreams, don't forget the vessel propelling you towards them. Being kind to yourself and taking care not to burn out is as necessary as setting the goals in the first place. By resting, spending times with friends, and doing the things you love, you refuel your motivation. Even if you feel like it's time wasted, it's actually not. You will find that when you return to work, you're going to be refreshed and you're going to be able to find new inspiration and motivation to push forward. So that is one of those things where we always expect perfection out of ourselves, whether it's because we are staring at Instagram and it's giving us unrealistic expectations of productivity and what we should be able to accomplish because of these perfectly manicured aesthetic feeds, or we are just independently piling too much on our plate. We expect perfection, but we're not willing to invest the resources into ourselves to be able to achieve that perfection. And first of all, let me just say that perfection doesn't exist, but that doesn't mean that you're not going to try and achieve it anyways. But what's really important is that you take care of yourself. You have to take care of yourself in order for you to even be able to fathom getting that result that you want, getting those excellent results. You cannot just run yourself into the ground. It's like driving a car without changing the oil or filling it with gas or just doing regular maintenance. Eventually that car is just going to like crap out on you and it's not going to work anymore and it's going to break down. And that's what's going to happen if you don't take care of yourself. And this is something that you can't wait until the brakes start squealing and the engine runs out of oil. You have to do this every single day. You have to wash the car every single day or it's going to rust. You have to put gas in it every single day or it's going to run out of, or every week, or it's going to run out of gas. You have to maintain it a little bit every day or regularly, rather than just waiting till everything is wrong and having to go and replace it or fix it. You can't replace yourself. So you need to make sure that you are maintaining your own mental health and well-being and physical health to make sure that you have the resources to spend on working towards these goals and achieving these goals. Number 8, create a support network. Having a support network will hold you accountable for achieving your goals and uplifting you along the way. This is vital to your success. These people can help motivate you with positivity and can often be the best source of feedback and opportunities. This support network can be friends, family, classmates, educators, and even business or work associates. Don't be too shy to join one of our live events if you have trouble connecting to a support network that helps you stay on track with your goals. We set goals, reflect on our progress, create plans to help us make improvements, and support each other in these events. I'd love to have you part of our live or replay crew. Try to take advantage of any opportunity to network in your area of interest. You never know who you might cross paths with. You never know when you might cross paths with someone again in the future. Much of the professional world is about who you know. Having a network of people who can support you and create opportunities is a fantastic advantage. This doesn't just work when you're looking for a job or an internship. These connections can also be incredibly valuable when you need someone with a specific skill set or talent. You never know when knowing a trustworthy, competent, reliable person in your field can be an asset. One day, you're going to be in the position to help others or create a team of your own. And already having the contacts with the skills you need will be a massive advantage. That is very true. There are a lot of positions where when I am hiring for these positions, I will go back and the first thing I think of is, who do I know that would be amazing at this? And most of the people that I try and hire are past contacts because I already know them. I already know their work. I already know their competency level. And it really helps with the training and the kind of aura and feel around the office. So I prefer to hire people I know and not necessarily family or anything like that. I will often hire, for example, for the clinics, I will often hire students that did an internship because I already know them and built a rapport. I know what their work is like, even before I interview them, and just things like that. So, and same with going through contacts. When I need to hire a doctor, I will go back to my university and I will talk to some of the professors and say, hey, who do you know that I can kind of tap and email and see? And sometimes they'll say, hey, I know somebody that just graduated. I will email them. Or they'll say, I'm going to introduce you to so-and-so. They are looking for a position and they were a student of mine, or they are, insert relationship here. And I know that they would be perfect for your clinic. So number nine, my ninth tip to staying focused on your long-term goals. This be a long stream today. This is just what we do now. We are in for the long haul when it comes to streaming now. We just have long streams. That's what we do. How long have we been going? We've been going a long time. Number 9, love what you do. Nothing motivates you more than having a passion for what you do. It won't be a chore if you love what you do, and little motivation will be needed to get you started in the morning. This passion can give you much more incentive and attention to detail to complete your projects, giving you a clear advantage. A lot of people wonder why I do education and healthcare. If you don't know, like I do have all of my education clients, but I also have a clinic, a house call service, and a pharmacy on the side. And because I love it, I love physiology was my area of study. So I love how things work. I love biology, but I also love school. And there's so much overlap between the two of them. And then I also do mentorship for other women in business. And it's because I love it. I only work on projects that I love. And so my work does not feel like work. Writing these articles, sitting and having meetings with clients, working with the doctors, working with the receptionists, working with the pharmacists. I love each and every one of these clients. I love each and every one of these businesses, and they are like my baby. And I just want to grow them and nurture them. And it brings me so much joy to be able to put all of my passion into output as my living, as what I do for a living. And so it's not work for me because I genuinely love and enjoy it. I will send out emails and I get responses about how, oh my goodness, this is exactly what I needed to see today. This motivation article is exactly what I needed. This reading strategy article is exactly what I have been struggling with. And thank you. And that will like put me on a high. And I just feel so honored that I am able to help people and that I love doing it. I don't necessarily do it for the accolades, but I remember how some days in school I felt so hopeless and I felt so stressed. And now, if I'm able to help somebody get through that just a little bit, it makes it all worth it to me. And that's what drives me. If you can find that passion for something where it doesn't working towards it doesn't feel like work. And that's not to say that you don't need self-care and you don't need to rest because you still do. But if you can find something that you are passionate about and you can find a way to turn that into your career, then that is going to help you immensely with staying focused on that goal and working towards it. There's already so much outside pressure and judgment when choosing a path. So many expectations to live up to, and so many people to just wait for you to fail. This is all just noise. Only you know what you are capable of. And even with that, you can accomplish so much more than you think. You can achieve anything. All you need is a plan, persistence, and patience. With these three things, you can undertake absolutely anything. Naysayers have tried to stop the most brilliant minds in the world. Where would they be if they listened? That's not to say that you should never feel unmotivated, even when you love what you do. We will always have those days where you would just rather lay around in bed than get to work. Days when you feel off or depressed. Even days when anxiety or pressure get the best of you. These are all okay. They're natural. They're normal. It's okay to feel not okay. These days are the reason that taking care of yourself is so important. When they come, allow yourself the time and space to be pampered. Do what makes you feel secure and taken care of. Indulge in the things you enjoy and lift your spirits. Chat with a friend, grab a coffee, or rearrange your desk. Do something meaningful to you. Number 10, this is the most important thing. The most important tip to staying focused on your goals is to reward yourself along the way. It's so important to celebrate your wins, not just the big ones, even the little ones. Big goals should always be broken down into smaller, manageable pieces that take no more than a month or so to complete. These are essential milestones for tracking progress and should be celebrated as an accomplishment. Every time you set a goal, be it yearly, monthly, or weekly, assign a reward for accomplishing it. Actually decide when you set the goal and write it down next to it. Make it specific and allow you to follow through when you complete the goal. If you're just starting out, make sure to set a prize for each and every goal. This will start a cycle of positive reinforcement that will help you with short-term motivation. One example is laying out a gummy bear or a piece of candy for each paragraph of your reading session. This reward is small enough that you can realistically justify and will keep you reading. This reward is small enough for you to realistically justify, and it will keep you reading. If you fail to reach your goal, don't reward yourself. Instead, create a better plan for the following week and try again. So that is one of the things. That's one of the things where people are saying, I'm trying to stay motivated. I want to be motivated. I can't. Are you rewarding yourself? What was your reward for reading your textbook last week? Well, if there was no reward, then how are you going to set your unconscious brain? How are you going to convince your unconscious brain that it's worth it? By creating that feedback loop of positive reinforcement. So it can be a treat. If you enjoy working out, maybe you go for a run. If you enjoy something, if it's I'm going to finish all of my reading and then I get to do that Netflix binge. Whatever it is, make sure that you set the goal and set a reward for it. If you stay focused on your goals and follow your plan, you'll find that making progress is much easier than you ever thought. It's easy to get overwhelmed with how far you have left to go, but don't forget about all of the progress you've already made. If you stay on track and follow the path you've laid out, you can create the life of your dreams. You've already proven you can by making it as far as you have. You're strong, resilient, and capable. You are able to achieve amazing things. If you don't have the will and the drive to make things happen, you wouldn't be here trying to learn how. If you don't have the will and the drive to try, if you don't have the will and the drive to make these things happen, you wouldn't be here trying to learn how. Stay focused and realistic about your expectations. Before you know it, you'll realize that you've arrived. Don't forget to grab the free goal setting workbook. It'll guide you step by step through setting your monthly goals. Use it to carve out a path and dedicate your weekly goals. Use it to carve out the path and dictate your weekly goals. Use this same workbook in both our weekly and monthly goal setting live streams if you need a little extra support. I can't wait to see you there. So head over to the events tab for when I update next week's live stream. I don't think it will be on Friday. I think it's going to have to be on Thursday. So I will schedule it. You guys can check it out. And again, I want to start doing a little bit more fun things. This was a long one, so I think I'm going to stop there. I wanted to also go through getting motivated, but maybe we'll make an extra special live stream for that. We'll do 2 live streams next week, maybe, so that we can get caught up on that. But I never told you to do the YouTubey things. Like this video, subscribe to my channel. I put out new videos every week, and I want to do more of these live streams because I feel like it is going to allow me to be a little bit more intentional and a little bit more one-on-one with you. So that is the plan that I want to be a little bit more present. So I will see you again next week. And until then, I hope you have an amazing adventure.